guys, a lot of people, while being asked why do you want to be a cabin crew, they just answer, it's my dream job. And of course, since they didn't ever experience the job of being a flight attendant, nobody knows what's behind the scenes. So why not having an idea about the job? A global idea about the job with the advantages of it and also the challenges that are behind the scenes. Cabin crew job is a job that is full of advantages. Personally speaking, I've never seen a job with such advantages like this in my life. And those advantages are two types. There are advantages and benefits that are linked to the nature of the job itself, and there are advantages that do exist on your contract. For the advantages that are existing in your contract is that they give you a free flight. When I mean a free flight, I'm talking about the first one that they give you when you are joining the company for the first time. So, for example, let's say that you are accepted as a candidate with Qatar Airways. The company does take care of you and of your ticket to bring you to Doha to start your training. Once you arrive to Doha, they also do take care of you by providing an accommodation. So in this case, you do not have to worry and look for rent. You just go straight away with the company assistant to your accommodation. Of course, during the days of the training and also when you start operating as a flight attendant, there is always free transportation. There is a shuttle bus that comes to you down your accommodation to pick up all the cabin crew and bring them to the airport, and also when they're coming back from their flights back home, either in Dubai or in Qatar, there is a shuttle bus again waiting outside of the airport to take back the crew to their accommodation. For me, having tickets and discounted tickets, of course, is the big advantage that the company provides for you. And guess what? It's not only for the people working for the company, but also for their families and siblings and friends. You just need to enter into the system the information of the person you wish to benefit from these discounted tickets, and then once it's accepted and reviewed by the company, then this person of your family can benefit from discounted tickets. There are things that go along within this job that the company offers you. For example, they do offer you free laundry service. Like you can wash the uniform and always look clean and tidy. They make life easier for you by providing also a gym. This gym usually are located inside of the accommodation, and sometimes they are just nearby the accommodation so that you can always look fit and healthy. Accommodations are located in areas in the city where everything is nearby. Like the company takes into consideration the fact that you are tired from the flights and that you need everything to be nearby you, like a mini market. You don't need to walk such a long distance. And also the salon for the girls to have their nails done without the need also to walk searching for a salon. They do put the salon usually under the accommodation or just a few meters away. So for me, the case in Emirates, the salon was just down the accommodation. The company also gives you a card for discounts. This one is really amazing so that you can use it in the city you live in. For example, when I was working with Etihad Airways, they used to provide for us a card for discounts that we could use inside of Abu Dhabi, and also the case for Dubai. When I moved to Dubai to work with Emirates, the same thing happened again. The company offered us a card to take advantage of all the discounts that we can use in the restaurants, the hotels that are existing in Dubai. Now we move to my favorite part ever. These are the advantages that are linked to the nature of the job. For me, when you work as a cabin crew, you are flying all the time and you are not sitting in an office, in a closed office with the same people every day. This job is such an amazing job because the first advantage that you have is that you are flying all the time. And of course, when you fly all the time, this means that you go and visit countries that you visit for the first time. It might be also for the second and third time, because you will be flying very frequently. But there is always something amazing to discover in a country. So yeah, first advantage is traveling. You are traveling basically all the time. Meeting new people. When you meet new people, when you go inside of the aircraft to perform your duties, be sure that there are thousands of nationalities. When I talk, for example, about Dubai, if you go and search for Dubai online and search for information about this city, you will find that this is 100% a cosmopolitan society. You will find nearly all the nationalities of the world living in this beautiful city. So the advantage that you have while working as a cabin crew is that you meet people from all over the world. Those passengers that we call guests are from Africa, from the US, from Australia, from the Middle East. They come nearly from everywhere, and you have the chance to meet all those nationalities and provide the best customer service to them. It's not only about the passengers on board that are from different nationalities, but you also have the chance to travel to those countries and see them. When you are a new joiner, you will receive something for your flights, like for example, you just joined the company. The company, after training, does provide you with a roster. In this roster, you have all the flights that you have during the month, and you can see all the destinations. So when you are working as a flight attendant, of course, you have this advantage of traveling to so many countries in such a short period of time. So the advantage that you have is that you travel to those countries and be sure that you are going to be amazed, because the world is full of other people with other cultures and different perspectives of life and different traditions. Be sure that this job is going to offer you the most magical moments of your life. Gastronomy. I'm a fan of gastronomy. I love eating food from different countries. I like tasting things for the first time. I always like to discover, even if I'm from Morocco, but I do, thanks to this job, I did discover a lot of dishes, of beautiful and tasty dishes that even after quitting the job, I still try at home. So if you love food and you're a food lover, I'm sure that you're going to be enjoying your time while traveling to countries and tasting their delicious food. Here is something funny, but which can turn to something really serious at the same time. A colleague is not always a friend. And of course, in some situations, it's really hard to work with someone and see him every single day, knowing that there is something wrong between you and him. In this flight, the nature of the job, for me, gives such a big advantage. The people that you work with today, you may not see them again. You don't even see the passengers again, They travel, they reach their destination, and you just say goodbye. Same thing for the colleagues. We have a flight together, a journey. We need to perform the best customer service, be as one for such a good team performance, and also we say goodbye to each other. We might not see each other again. So when you keep this thing in mind, you just do your best to have a smooth flight and an enjoyable one. Okay, so in order for you not to be shocked, I know it's a big word to say shocked, but yeah, it's true. It happens to you to be shocked because the nature of the job is different from any other job that you've known in your life. And it happened to me. So I was shocked by a few things. So why not sharing them and let everyone have an idea about them, so that if they ever plan to work as cabin crew, they know what's waiting for them. Can you imagine that everything that we've talked about concerning the advantages of the job can turn to a challenge? It's true. Everything that we mentioned before, like traveling, meeting new people, going to different countries, can turn to a challenge. Let me explain to you, for example, when you meet a lot of nationalities, that are your batchmates. Okay, let's stop here and explain what batchmates are. When you go and join the company for the training, they do put batches numbers, and there is batch number 1, number 2, number 3. They do divide us into groups. And that's it. And of course, those groups are from all over the world. So in my batch, I was the only Moroccan. Basically the only Moroccan. There is only one nationality from each country. And of course, for a person who never met people from different countries before, it's not easy to always fit in. Second challenge you might face is going to different countries. You know, when you go to different countries, of course, you meet people from other nationalities. And those people from those nationalities have their own traditions, and they have also their own perspective of life. They have their own culture, language, and everything. They also do have their own body language. Can you imagine that just a wrong movement with your body can be seen as something disrespectful from someone from another country, and it might trigger something that is not really good to see. So that's a big challenge, you know. You always have to stay vigilant. You always have to have information about the country you're going to, what they like, what they don't like. Is it safe? Is it not always safe? So those challenges are really going to face you, of course, because even if you have an idea about certain nationalities, but you might not be having an idea about all the nationalities. And the companies I'm talking about are international companies, and they have flights to all over the world. So of course you might always face something that you will see for the first time. It's an advantage, of course, and you will be amazed, but also you might be surprised, and things might not really always go as you thought. And of course, in this job you learn a lot by discovering everything I mentioned. In this job, you do travel overseas. And of course, when you travel overseas, you change the whole weather. Sometimes, it's not sometimes, but most of the time in the Gulf countries, it's sunny most of the time of the year, of course. In Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, and also in Doha, it's the same, approximately the same climate. But you do travel to very cold places on Earth. And of course, your body needs to take its time to move from winter to summer. But here it doesn't happen naturally. You have a flight and you have to perform it. So that might be such a big challenge for you. And of course, the body that does get used to everything slowly. So by the time and by few advices that I'm gonna share with you, you can stay healthy and you can face this challenge easily. Of course, the advice will help you to face them easily. But like for me, the case was really different because I did not receive those advice before, and it went quite hard. But after that, I got used to it, you know. So why not sharing those advices in a video later on and let you have an idea about how you can protect your body from the changes of the climate. Can you imagine that gastronomy goes also into the case of the challenges? Some people find it really hard to change their food habits. You know what I'm talking about. And of course, when you're working as a flight attendant, you can also always take the food with you on board. Because when you travel and you reach the destination you go to, there is an immigration process. And of course, the procedure doesn't always allow you to bring food. So for some people who are used to certain kinds of food, they might find it really challenging after a long flight to just land and not find the food that they love the most or that they are used to, you know? So yeah, that's a challenge, of course. And for some people who really enjoy, like me, having different types of food from different countries, they will find it enjoyable, of course. Do you remember when I told you that if you don't go along with a friend, you just forget about it, you perform your duties on board, and once you land, you're gonna say goodbye, you might not see them again? It's true, this scenario happens a lot, but also there is a scenario that happens very frequently of you meeting people for the first time that you need to work with. Meeting people for the first time, there's always kind of a stressful situation that happens of how to approach them, how to be friendly, how to to be part of the group, and of course working with them is something very different because you have to collaborate, you have to communicate, and communication has to go on. You have to provide the best service on board and you have to be one team. So this might be a challenge for people who are not really used to working in groups. My video came to its end and I hope it was helpful because I do advise people to have an idea about the cabin crew job. It seems like such a beautiful job, and it is, but the fact of you being shocked or facing something that you did not expect and you did not know that this exists in this job, this might bring difficulties to your way. So in order for you to go in such a smooth way, I advise you to focus on every single challenge that I mentioned in my video and see if you can do it. I mentioned before in a previous video that I rather like to call it a challenge rather than a disadvantage, you know, because every single challenge that I mentioned can turn to something very enjoyable if you know how to work with it. This is why I decided to have a video of how turning the challenges into benefits or into enjoyable moments. I think this is very important as well, so I'll leave you for now and I'll prepare, of course, a video mentioning some advice of how to deal with all the advantages and make them something very easy to deal with, and of course enjoy your work as a flight attendant. So let's go step by step. Before leaving you, if you ever heard about a challenge that I did not mention, please write it down in the comments so I can reply to you, and I can add it also in the list of the advices that I'm gonna provide for the next video. So meanwhile, I say please stay safe and good luck to everyone.